Hello and welcome. Today we are in the tier 10 Italian heavy cruiser, the Venezia. We're playing on the map Crash Zone Alpha, and this time I'm gonna play more safe than I have been mostly playing this ship, and safer than some of the past videos I've shown. So I'm not gonna do something crazy where I'm gonna rush the middle of the map, take a cap zone, sink a ship or something like that. I'm gonna play more safely. That is, I'm gonna stay more at range, try to stay somewhat behind my battleships, not rush too many ships, and, you know, the way you're probably supposed to be playing the ship, because I think it leads to better results overall, although it isn't quite as fun at all times. I am using Sansonetti, who is the special Italian captain. He has 3 skills. Number 1 is that when you get 100 main battery shell hits, your consumables last longer. I assume he'll last longer. I still haven't actually checked that one. The second ability is that when you get a kill, your range gets increased to 18.5 kilometers from 17.1. So right now I have a plane up, it would increase to I think around 22 kilometers or something along those lines. And the third ability is that if you get a Confederate, your reload is boosted by 15%. So it's a pretty sizable bonus. And as you might imagine, getting that first kill on Sansonetti can be quite important, because this ship it's very accurate and the shells are really fast, meaning that it's entirely possible to long-range snipe with this ship. Now, I've even used the range upgrade quite often on this cruiser because, well, it is effective, but, well, I kinda like the reload because DPM is something the ship kinda, well, I suppose the ship doesn't lack DPM, but the reload is long enough that I would like it to be slightly better. Also, I feel kinda bad for that Conqueror, but on the other hand, well, she's a Conqueror, so, you know, it's okay if she takes damage, right? I mean, he's doing his job. Regardless, we started with the A cap. We are actually taking the D cap right now. We seem to be zoning out the enemies quite effectively, especially that AFK Hindenburg. He is entirely getting zoned out from the D cap. I mean, he has no chance of taking this cap zone or contesting it, right? Anyway, my plane's gone, so now I need to go closer. This is the moment where... this is the type of moment that I also mentioned in the Goliath, where... well, if you don't have the range upgrade, you're gonna end up being the closest large ship, and then you'll be the target. Like, if I want to shoot that Conqueror, I need to go 5 kilometers closer, and that will put me, well, pretty much where the gearing is, actually. Which means that I will most definitely be the closest ship to the enemy. Although I suppose I could technically go and engage that Republique as well. Especially since she is engaging the Henri right now, but honestly, looking at the minimap, I don't think it's worth trying to go after the Republique. I mean, somebody obviously has to do it on our team, but the Henri is already doing it, and I think putting too many ships into that situation at the moment is a bad idea. Because as you can see, the fight is probably going to end up being either for the B cap or the A cap, probably both of them. Nice 8k on the gearing. That is very good. Although I was hoping for slightly better, but I mean, there's always round 2, right? Also, if you notice, I am actually using IFA, and I'll be honest, this ship is basically my first time using this skill, and it's surprisingly convenient and useful, because, sure, it doesn't always help, because if you're in a 1 versus 1 situation, or a situation where there aren't many ships, it's very easy to tell whether somebody is firing at you. On the other hand, if you're in a situation where you might get shot at from across the map, IFA is very useful because it'll tell you, whereas normally you might not have noticed at all. And in that sense, I'm really getting used to IFA, and since on this captain I had a single point left over anyway, I figured I might as well. and I'm really enjoying the captain's skill. Also, this Yamato is showing broadside, so he wants to get blapped again. Well, I suppose it's not technically blapping, huh? Because it doesn't deal like huge amounts of damage, but it definitely hurts when you get hit for 12,000 damage. But I mean, I literally hit all 15 of my shells here. All 15 of them hit on the Yamato, and obviously she was showing sight, so she did take a lot of damage. I mean, even AP probably would have done like 10k damage there. Maybe even slightly more. Anyway, nothing's happening, so we sped up for a bit, and now we're gonna fight this Zhao, who seems to be intent on showing some broadside too. I could have swapped the AP, but I don't think it was worth it, because she was already somewhat angled, and I mean, dealing 11k damage to a ship that has 41k base HP is pretty decent. Also, there's a Shimakaze next to me, which is kinda cool, but kinda not cool. I mean, it's cool because I get to blap another destroyer, I think. Well, if I can hit the ship, obviously. It's not cool because she's a bit closer than I would like. Oh boy. Wow, I just got 4 ricochets and 1 pen on the destroyer with SAP. So that means I did like, what, 1700 damage? 4 ricochets on a destroyer like that. Yeah, SAP can still ricochet. But most of the time though, it's pretty effective against destroyers, just not this time. But I mean, what's the Shimakaze gonna do? Considering how close she was, keep in mind that my ship goes 38.5 knots. Well, 38.4 I think. Her ship goes, well, I suppose if she uses speed boost, it's like 41 or 42 knots or 43 knots. I mean, sure, she's faster than I am, but how far is she gonna get with a 5 knot speed difference? Not very far, right? I'm gonna use my own smoke, because I really don't want to be shot at from the side by a Montana. Kinda okay with a Des Moines, but Montana is a whole other ballgame. Sure, I know that there's a smoke already here, but I mean, it's safer this way, I think. Although this can absolutely let the Shimakaze get away, unfortunately. Because if my smoke ends and she is in a position that's slightly too far away, unfortunately there's little I can do about it, but I mean, it's better to be safe at this point, considering we have 7 ships, and they have 9, well, okay, 8 ships. Still, they have all 4 capstones, they're at 700 points. Oh, I spotted the Shima for a moment. And, goodbye, Shima. Thank you for the range. Oh wait, no, that's not range. Well, yeah, no, that's range and Confederate, so I got reload and range both from this. Thank you, Shimakaze, that was very kind of you. Well, still, the problem remains that, despite the fact that we're even in ships now, it's a 7 vs 7, they do have all 4 capstones, and they do have a 400 points lead. Although I suppose sinking that Zhao definitely helped. So we're actually a ship ahead now, and we're finally kind of trying to cap the decap, but we don't seem to be doing too well yet. And I am now stuck fighting a Montana, a battleship. She still has 65,000 HP. I have not even 35,000. This is not cool. Oh, and I don't have a smoke either. Now, thing is, in a realistic scenario, like in a battle where we wouldn't be losing this hard, I should just disengage. Go find some other target, most likely. If I can, obviously. I mean, it might not be possible. But I mean, I could wait until my smoke is up, for example, and then just start heading towards the middle of the map, more or less. But in this match, I feel like we need to sink all of them, and there's only 8 minutes to go, which means that running away here might not be the best idea. I mean, it might be the smarter idea, but it might not be the best idea because, well, we need to try to win as hard as possible, right? Also, you just saw, I tried to hit the stern of the ship, and I was quite successful. 8k damage. I mean, the thing is that the different sections of a ship eventually run out of HP, so I'm not actually sure if you can sink a battleship while firing only into the superstructure with SAP. I think that might not actually be possible. The ship might end up having like 9 to 10% HP left, so you'd have to take like one shot into the stern or something. Thing is, if the ship angles, it ends up being more difficult to do so. Anyway, I'm gonna fire one more salvo, like this, and then I'm gonna try to disengage slightly, because I am kind of on the losing end here. I do have 13k HP, but I have a heal up. Sorry, a smoke up, not heal. Smoke heal will end up coming up eventually too, but main thing is the smoke screen. It also lets me turn my turrets the other way. Launch some more torpedoes. Maybe she'll get hit by them. I mean, sure, the ship is kind of far, but these torpedoes go a fair distance, despite the fact that they're not the fastest. Also, right now might be a great time to engage the Montana, because I don't think all her turrets are turned properly. And she's gonna be busy with the torpedoes, so she can't exactly whip around her ship binder. Oh, and when she has taken lots of damage, then it's even better, because that means she might go down soon, and damn, that was an amazing 1700 damage to the Montana. Oh boy, this might take a while, I suppose. Let's see if we can hit the stern and maybe deal more damage. Oh, ooh, that was a nice shot by whoever shot the Montana. She's firing, but I think I can manage to dodge easily. Remember, I'm not using the concealment upgrade, I'm using the rudder shift instead of the concealment. Well, double rudder shift in that case. Which means that I have a lot of maneuverability. Since the ship is fast, she's very maneuverable, and all the other nice things, which allows me to do these great turns. Also, I'm not actually sure if that salvo was necessary, considering a torpedo was about to hit the battleship. Regardless, I think the next target is that Conqueror over there, because I think the Des Moines will be taken care of. I suppose I should wait a little bit, because I do want my heal to be up before we end up losing. Sorry, not losing, before I end up engaging this Conqueror head-on. Unfortunately, I have run out of smoke screens, so there is no smoke camping anymore. I suppose the ship doesn't technically smoke camp, right? It's more like a smoke sail, I guess. I don't think I can really fire on this Des Moines, but I'll probably try anyway, because you never know. You know, the indicator isn't always correct. Sometimes you can just sail, or the shells can just fly over the island anyway. Some of them anyway, and then you can deal some damage. I really like shooting Conquerors in this ship, because you end up dealing massive damage since they have incredibly large superstructures. One might even say that they might be compensating for something. Although this time I don't seem to be able to deal too much damage yet, but we'll try anyway. 8k, I'll take it. I tried AP for a moment, because maybe it'll be better, but SAP is better, and somebody asked if this is gonna be on YouTube. The answer is obviously no. It's never going to be on YouTube, okay? Unfortunately, this Conqueror is not the Montana that I just fought, because he's using HE. And HE makes me sad, because I can't bounce HE, sadly. I can do that to AP, but HE unfortunately does not bounce very much. So the only option, yeah, I guess she healed, so the only option at this point is, well, honestly, it's to die. But to deal as much damage as possible. Also, the other Conqueror is shooting me as well. I think if it was just this guy, it might be okay, but both of them at the same time is probably no bueno. But we'll try to deal as much damage as we can. I think I'll get one more salvo off or so. Come on, dodge! Unfortunately, 2 shells in the bow. But we still did a whole bunch more damage. And I mean, I did 240,000 damage this game. And they only have 1 Conqueror left. The game's pretty much over. It's 4 ships against this Conqueror. I mean, we're gonna win by points anyway. There's a whole minute and 30 seconds left. And I mean, they actually sank the Conqueror anyway. But even if they hadn't sunk her, they would have just won by points due to the caps. But 240k damage, Confederate, high caliber, 2 ships sunk, only 1 torpedo hit, but that's good enough. Almost 2900 base XP, that Republic also tried to carry hard, but not as hard as I did, okay? 2900 XP, more XP means you carried harder, right? Exactly. I mean, look at that Conqueror on our team with the 9 XP. That guy... yeah, he probably needs to try it slightly harder. Slightly. Wait, is that the guy that took the torpedoes? Why did he only get 9 XP? Huh, that's weird. Because he actually did something, right? He tanked torpedoes for us. Well, actually, I guess technically he didn't tank torpedoes for us, but... well, it's the thought that counts. He was trying to. So, I don't know, I guess maybe that's why he got the 9 XP for effort. 2.3 million potential. Anyways, I hope you guys enjoyed this video. I would like to thank the patrons on Patreon. Thank you very much for your continued support, Gerald Grey Halo, and I hope I'll see you guys next time.